Back
Welcome
at it
in.
again. We like same timed it. Welcome back to the What in the Metaverse podcast. This is episode 9, and we got a super special guest on with us today. From Wagmi Games, we have Scott Herman, and he is here to talk to us about all of the amazing things they got going on. We can't wait to hear. We got a sneak bit of it before, guys, and when I tell you it's some good stuff, it's some good stuff. So,
Yes,
welcome in,
sir.
Scott. I guess you could start with a little introduction, and we can go from there.
Yo, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. On this fine Saturday afternoon. Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Herman. I'm a co-founder and VP of Strategic Partnerships over at Wagmi Games. Wagmi Games is a mid-core tower defense strategy game. Very similar gameplay for those of you who ever played games like Clash Royale, where you have 3 towers on one side, 3 towers on the other side, and the goal is to get your troops across to blow up that middle tower while also defending your own. Something that Jay Cluster's not too great at. You know,
Excuse me.
he's really good at putting the characters on the map, but in terms of getting them across to win is a whole
Whatever. I think our win rate's both 50-50.
we've actually done quite a few battle royales on my YouTube channel, and Jay Cluster has streamed a few on his, and we're going to be streaming more. We just haven't streamed any for about a month because I've been traveling, and there were some major updates that we'll talk about in today's podcast too. But we always have fun, right, Jay? Like everybody's always laughing and having a good time when we do these.
It's a vibe. And then like usually we get like once we're like in a heated battle, everyone gets quiet. And
Yeah. Yeah, dude, right? Yeah, that's how you know a game is great when it gets quiet, when it's heated, and then shit talking ensues afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah. Locked in. They get locked in for that win. Yeah, it's like, dude, I can't lose this. I just gotta focus. Just focus.
Well, in the matches are random, right? So like what we would try to do is join a match at the same time, and then 70% of the times you'll match with the person you're trying to join with. But people who are watching the stream are also trying to join, and then when they jump in a match, you see them in the comment section after, like, oh my god, I kicked your butt, or oh dude, that was a sick match, you got me, right? So there's like so much back and forth, and that's just with like the base of the beta, right? And so we've actually, a little more about Wagmi. We've transformed so much over the last 17 months. That's how long we've been building. We have an amazing gaming studio that's been building this out for us called Cubics out of Pakistan. And basically, we started out as a browser-based game first. That was the first rendition of our beta, as we were building things out. And we made the decision to move to mobile about 3 months before Apple even said that they were going to allow it. At that point, we said, hey, we're going to make the move to mobile, even though we have NFTs and we have our token, because we believe that eventually Apple is going to have to bow down to the NFT marketplace. And they did. And so we have such a huge leap on a lot of competition in the market because of that. And also our play style and getting involved with the game, we've eliminated pretty much every barrier you can think of, because our goal is mass adoption. We want people to be able to find us in the App Store, download, Google or Android, download. You're going to log in with your email, and then within like 30 seconds, you're already playing the tutorial of the game. And then after that, you're just playing the game. There's no like, hey, connect your wallet, hey, buy this, starter pack, or any of these other things that you see in Web3. It's free to play, log in, you're playing, and you're having a good time, because that's the only way to get people to come back, right?
Yeah.
Don't make it complicated. And
100%.
so in the last 60 days alone, so for some of our community members that are here listening in, we were going to release the beta of the game in June. That was the goal. Like, hey, we're going to release this thing maybe like end of May, early June. And then what happened was about 2 months ago, we started onboarding some people, some really big names from EA, Respawn, Bungie, to work on our team. Like everything from user acquisition to telemetry to the in-game economy to the marketplace to the collectability to the live ops, like guys who've been doing this for like 20 plus years, right?
Yeah.
In fact, our new COO is a guy named Brent Pease. He was the general manager and director of operations at EA. He was the co-creator of Industrial Toys, which EA eventually bought out, and that's why he was over at EA. And I mean, his downline of connections that he has for being in the space for so long and the amount of games that he's launched is massive. And so he started going after people that he had worked with in, the gaming space. And we picked the best of the best and brought them on our team. And they basically came in and they said, what you guys have built over the last 17, or at that point in time, like 15 months is incredible. All we need is like 60 to 90 days to take it to market.
Mm.
And, and there was a little bit like, people don't like waiting, especially in crypto, right? So
Yeah.
some people were upset. Like, you said the beta was launching in June. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
it's back to like, July, not that big of a deal. And the way I kind of talk about it with the community is I'm like, you're missing the point. Top dogs from EA, Respawn, and Bungie came in and said, we need 60 to 90 days versus coming in and saying, wow, this thing is fucked. We need like 6 months to a year to get this.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if you really think about it, right?
Yeah.
That's
a great turnaround.
Yeah, like that is so bullish. So these guys have been working so hard for the last 60 days. I showed you guys some of the newer assets that I can't share yet publicly, but I showed you guys some of like the newer assets and
which are beautiful. Oh my
look
gosh.
amazing.
Oh my. Like if you dudes seen these, what we see, oh my. I wish. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning, guys. I didn't even show you the company that's working on so we have another company we're working with. We haven't announced them yet. We're saving a lot of these massive alpha announcements for July because there's a lot. Our beta is launching in July, and there's a lot of like other really big things happening around that time. So we're gonna kind of piggyback everything at once and just be like a huge Wagmi explosion on the internet, right?
Yeah.
But
nuts.
So all I heard he was coming back in July, Cluster. That's what I heard. I heard Scott's coming back in July to let us know some things.
Yes, I will.
For sure.
Oh, 100%. Well, so the company that we have that's going to be taking our assets, and actually they're going to be reworking some of the characters in our game too. These guys have worked on Alita, they've worked on Borderlands, they've worked on Jurassic Park, Transformers, and the list goes on and on and on with the projects these guys have taken on. And we haven't even announced like anything about that yet. So this is like a little bit of like alpha, but the talent that has come in because of the credibility we now have with guys like Brent and the rest of the team, that I have to be careful whose names I say because we haven't announced everybody yet.
Yeah.
We're just gonna stick with Brent and Esteban. I know I can say them.
Okay.
The amount of talent that we've got on our core team now is so big that J Cluster, you and I would be able to chat and I'd be able to update you on everything relatively easy, a couple months ago. Now, like we have so many moving parts that I don't know everything. I have to kind of check in with the team, be like, okay, what's been done over here? What's been done over there? It's just everybody has just like stuck their feet in the ground, cemented in, and they're just hammering out, man. Oh, Ghost Cat says he sees my Funko Pops.
Yeah. He also asked where you're from, and I was gonna ask the same thing because I heard a little bit of New England accent in there.
Yeah, I'm from up north. I'm from a little bit outside of Boston, so I have a bit of an accent.
Yeah, okay. I grew up north too, so New York, tri-state area. So I definitely hear it.
Oh, Kayla says, look at the website, full mech suit. Yeah, so Cluster, you saw the mech suit.
Yeah.
Did King Apollo see the mech suit?
No, I don't. I mean, I went through some stuff last night. I don't know if the mech suit was.
I was
one of them.
retweeting it on my Twitter, but
You were?
I must have missed it.
Let's see.
He was wearing it all NFT and NYC.
Oh no, the huge dude that was walking around.
Yeah, that was
at
me.
NFT NYC. That was you?
Yeah.
Holy, yeah, no, I did see that. It was like a huge, like, transformer looking dude walking around. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
fucking cool.
I gotta share that. Hold on, let me share that. Here you go.
Pull it
It's
up.
like
Here it is.
the human emperor or something.
Yeah, this is our human emperor.
Bro, that's so lit.
Yeah, so dude, I walked 2 miles in this thing because
shit.
We were at NFT NYC, and so we're founding partners with Immutable, and Immutable actually sponsored the whole NFT NYC event.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Oh, it didn't change photos. That's okay. And so we did a takeover for their booth, and it was supposed to be like an hour, and we were just there for like 3 or 4 hours. They're like, "Dude, you guys are great."
That's awesome.
We had 2 iPads set up on stands so people could battle each other. Like, it was sick, right? Everybody had such a great time. We had comic books that we were giving away. And then, me and Ian, our CEO, we usually tag team all these events together. I was like, dude, we got to go to Times Square. And he's like, you sure you can walk in that suit from the Javits Center to Times Square? I was like, bro, we're getting this done. I don't care how much it hurts.
Yeah.
I don't care how hard it is.
That's
Like,
a nice walk.
There's no getting in a taxi with this suit. You understand?
Or the train.
It takes 30 minutes just to put on, and I can barely bend my knees. So, like, going upstairs, I almost ate shit down the escalator at one point because we did like the whole Trump going down the escalator thing, right? We haven't posted that footage yet, but we had me like waving, right?
Oh my.
And then on day 2, I was going down the escalator and I thought I got forward enough with my feet because these shoes are like this big. And my right foot was not forward enough. And when the escalator went like that, the back end caught my heel. And I was like, this. And I was like, oh shit. And then Ian grabs my shoulders and he's holding me as I'm like trying to make it to the bottom of the escalator.
Almost.
Yeah, and almost ate it, dude.
But how heavy is the suit? Like, how heavy is it?
It's 80 pounds.
80 pounds? Okay, that's not too bad.
It's the chest piece resting on your shoulders that really like sometimes my left arm goes numb, right? But whatever, we're there for a good time.
Yeah.
And people are like, wow, how much did they pay you to wear this suit? I'm like, bro, I'm a founder. I'm here for the community, right?
Yeah.
I'm bleeding for the community.
Yeah, lead by example. I love it. Like, get it on the ground and actually do it. You don't see it a lot these days in like a lot of these gaming companies and stuff. The founders are kind of like detached from the groundwork and like the grassroots stuff. So it's great to see stuff like this. It just shows like how much you're in this, and I love it, man. I love it. I actually want that suit. Just drop it off here.
Hey, man, if you ever come to Florida, I'll let you try it on. I got it at my house.
All right, cool. I go to Florida a lot for work, so I used to live in Orlando.
I really appreciate what you said, King, because it's very rare to find a team that's as grounded, I feel, as we are over at Wagmi. I mean, even our CEO Ian, he tag teams all these events with me. He's in it in the muck just as much as I am. And the rest of our team too, like our entire core team, everybody just is so focused and works so diligently and so hard. Like there's never a day in our group chat, like we chat in Telegram 24/7. You guys know how it is. Like there's never like, hey, that's your job, this is my job. It's always just like, how can we all just work together to get this done? And I feel that attributes to how we've been able to build as much as we've been able to build in the last 17 months and to pull in the kind of talent that we have, like I said, from EA and Respawn and Bungie. I mean, one of our other advisors, his name is Dan Carabala. He was a part of the original team that did NFL Madden, Tekken 2. He worked for Sega.
That's a classic titles.
Like these guys, they don't just attach their name to projects, right? Like they have a reputation.
Yeah, for sure.
And so to be able to attract names and people like this, like it ain't no small thing to us either. Like we feel so blessed and so lucky to have been able to be legit in a space that's known for just, pump and dumps and shills and like, quick money in, quick money out type of thing.
For sure.
And that's why we're having such a hard time, garnering mass adoption, is because, you got a lot of these other big games like doing land sales and things like that. And it's like, it's just to bring money in. Granted, like some of these games, the land sales are useful. Like I'm actually an ambassador for Big Time too. I'm not sure if you guys have played. I mean, no, J Cluster.
Yeah, we're all ambassadors here. Everybody.
Oh, okay, great. So like, I have space. I think it's awesome, and it makes sense for the economy because as you get exotic NFTs and legendary and in these different variations, you have to have time wardens and forges in different exotic and legendary space to upgrade those.
Yeah.
And then it's not pay to play because you guys can come into my space and use my stuff.
100%.
Right. Yeah. So like it makes sense and it's great for guilds.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of good games out there that, I've learned a lot from, and I'm taking back to us, like we would like to do stuff like that in game 2, right? Game
Yeah.
2 would be maybe a little more crypto-esque, maybe do land sales, maybe have like some of these upgrading features and things. But game 1, like there has to be a game that breaks out of this noise and brings mass adoption. There has to be
Totally.
one.
For sure.
I just think that our game is furthest along the path to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I remember you were talking about the team, right? And I was going over the website, and we're all going to make it is a slogan, right?
Yep.
What can you like? What's the significance of that slogan? Like, how does it align with the company's visions and goals? Because I hear you talking about it, like you have a really like. I
There's a
love
whole
how you talk
story
about
about
the
it.
team. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So like,
Yeah,
kind
so
of break that down to us.
I'll give you the short version of the origination of Wagmi. So the original 4 founders, me and my best friend Costas, you know, we ran my Scott Herman Fitness YouTube channel for the last like 11 years together. I got like 3 million subscribers on my fitness channel.
Okay.
We joined the team after, so like the core 4 became the core 6 after about 3 months after it started. So these guys, Ian, Lewis, Chris, and Khaled, they all met in a Telegram group for the original Wagmi token. And this was like, 17, 18 months ago when, like people were doing GM and all these other tokens that were taking off, like these crypto acronym tokens. And
Right.
so what ended up happening was I guess there was like 5 devs for Wagmi, and four of them left. It was basically a slow rug. Nobody had keys to liquidity. And these guys, Ian, Chris, Khaled, and Lewis, tried to save the project because they really liked the acronym Wagmi. We're all going to make it. And so they got into contact with the dev that was still there. And he's like, yeah, like I don't have the keys or anything. So there's nothing we can do. And so they held a chat in Telegram, and they were like, listen, basically, this is a slow rug that nobody's here. Nobody has the keys, whatever. So we're going to create a new token called Wagmi, and basically want every single person here to liquidate their position and then come over to the new token if they want to, because we're going to do a mobile game. And so a lot of people did that, and there's a lot of people in our community that have been in as holders since back then, right?
Mhm.
And so, and by the way, they combined between the 4 of them, they had about $300,000 invested in that original token. And so they told everyone else to liquidate first, and whatever was left over, they sold off and took. So that's like the caliber of these guys, right?
Yeah, and
And then
that's
they
genuine. Yeah, because
yeah,
usually
and
it's
then
the
they
opposite.
yeah,
It's like we're gonna
exactly.
pull, you guys get the rest, get the scraps.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Well, so they did that, and then they went out and they started going after gaming studios. They landed on Cubics, signed a $500,000 deal with them to start building out the game, and then they worked pretty hard, pretty quietly for about 3 months, maybe 4, and then once they had a structure for the baseline of the beta, that's when they actually reached out to me. And at the time, I had started dabbling in crypto about a year before that, and I had a separate crypto YouTube channel called Scott Herman Crypto, where I was aligning, doing interviews with projects, kind of like this right now, right? Bringing devs on the stream and trying to find my footing in crypto because I wanted to be in this space. And then
Yeah.
after speaking with them, I was actually the second influencer they went after. The first influencer they actually reached out to was BitBoy, but he was like, "Yeah, give me 40K and we'll do a video," right?
Dude,
So
oh my god.
it was actually, and he claims he doesn't do that, but we have the email. So it was actually him, being so expensive just to even talk to him that made them reach out to me. So thanks, bro. So they reached out to me, and I was like, listen, I had a meeting with them. I listened to everything they were doing. I got to know the team. These guys have a lot of experience in building traditional businesses, which is so important in crypto because like if you want to have a business that's scalable, you have to have done it in the past. And these guys
yeah,
had that experience.
100%.
And they were just getting ready to launch their Genesis NFT collection. And I was like, okay, I can help you guys with this. And at that time, I've made a lot of friends in the crypto space. And it was really easy for me too, because a lot of the guys that were doing a lot of videos and stuff in crypto, they grew up watching my fitness content, right? So I would reach out to some of these guys and be like, hey, I'm with Wagmi. We're doing this Genesis NFT launch. And they're like, oh, dude, I fucking watch your YouTube videos when I was in college. Yeah, let's talk, right? So I was able
Yeah.
to build all this hype, and we ended up minting out the entire collection in about a week, which was amazing.
Wow.
And we can get into the utility of that collection and everything too. But
And when
'Cause
was
there's a
when was that
lot.
collection? When did that collection drop?
it was March of last year. Yeah. And we
Okay.
just surpassed like 1,035 ETH in trading volume this week.
Ooh.
Like it's pretty insane. Well, because the utility, one of the main utilities is going to be launching with our founders packs. Again, we could talk about that in a second here. But yeah, so after that first month, because they brought me on as an influencer for the month, and I built all this, momentum, and I got to really know the project. I was like, listen, I want to be here full time. I want to be a founder, and I want to take this thing to the next level. And so then that's when I kind of just stopped kind of covering any other projects on that channel. Actually, kind of let that channel do its thing and just posted AMAs there because I wanted to be here full time doing Wagmi and getting it to the point it is at now. And so
Yeah.
that's when myself and Costas joined the team and became the core 6. Now I don't even know how many are on the core team now, like 8 or 9. Like there's so many people joining. It's so amazing, right? But that's the story of the original Wagmi token. And then you'll notice on the chart that it starts in June of last year.
Mhm.
That's because the original token was on Ethereum and BNB because there was no solution at that point for gasless transactions for the NFTs.
Mhm.
But then we became a founding partner with Immutable, which is gasless transactions with their layer 2. And as soon as that happened, we just migrated to a V2 contract, got rid of BNB, and put everything on Ethereum.
Which is beautiful because gas fees are a pain in my neck.
Nothing.
It's just not fun, dude. Literally paid like $80 last week for some gas fees for
Yeah,
like
dude,
a $75 mint. So
it's no joke, man. It's no joke. And like you're not going to pay $55 for a $5 NFT in a mobile game. Like it's just
exactly.
see you
It
later.
just doesn't make sense. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Caleb,
see.
oh, Scott's bullish AF. Wait until he finishes his coffee.
Yeah. No, literally when Scott came on, I was like, okay, I need to go get my energy drink because his energy is all the way there. Today I'm a little, me and Cluster streamed pretty late last night. So
Nice.
Yeah.
a little,
Dude.
what's the name? We were running it up on big time.
Turtle Bite says, does Scott have his YouTube play button? Yeah, I have a gold one and a silver one, but they're in my gym downstairs because that's where I film my gym videos.
Gotcha. And how did, go ahead, Cluster. You probably had a question.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So basically I had a question in here for you about content because one, you just said you're a content creator, right? You started as a content creator, which is beautiful for two different reasons, right? One, you understand content creators, and then coming into a company, being a former content creator, actually puts you
current, but-
in a higher understanding than 95% of the people at the top of these gaming companies, right? So can you explain the role of influencers and content creators within the Wagmi community and how it contributes to the growth and visibility of your franchise?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you nailed it on the head, King, because I know the struggle of talking to companies and they have all these demands and you're like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not how content works. And they're like, your video has to be 2 minutes long. You have to talk about us for 1 minute. You have to show all this shit. You have to say X, Y, and Z. And then so basically you want your video to get 0 views, right? That's
Exactly.
what you're trying to
Yeah.
get here, right? And
No
so
traction.
I understand that side of things. And I also understand, like you can't be doing all this shit for free. I understand how much time it takes to film, to edit, to plan. Like it's a production. And so there has to be some sort of give and take. And a lot of the things that I really like about Web3 gaming is it is now going to give content creators so many other ways to not just make more money, but also connect with their communities a lot more and get more of like a loyalty from your community. So some of the things that we're doing, obviously, Jay Cluster and I, we've been doing battle royales. Anytime anybody makes content about us, I make sure that it gets all the attention from the entire Wagmi community, whether it's posted on Twitter, our Discord, our Telegram. And then also too, like, whenever I do a video, because I'm going to be doing I'm actually moving the majority of the Wagmi content that I'm doing to the official Wagmi YouTube channel. And
Mhm.
again, like in all of those videos, everybody's names are in the info section, like subscribe to these guys, right? But that's just exposure. Now, one thing that we're doing that's so unique to Web3 is that we are going to have like a powerhouse of an affiliate system that our content creators are going to be able to take advantage of in a way that they've never been able to take advantage of before. Now,
Mm.
normally as a creator myself, I hate affiliate marketing because like for me in fitness, right? It's like, hey, use my code to get this, BSN protein shake, right? Well, no one's gonna use my code because they'll still go to friggin' Amazon and get it cheaper.
Yep.
So it's like a lot of these companies are like, here's your affiliate code, but you and I both know at the end of the day, they're just gonna go where they can get it the cheapest, whether they're a fan or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Or
You can
not be able to use it at the time and then go back and buy it without the code. So
Yeah, exactly. So, and yeah, people do make money with those things, but at the end of the day, it's a flawed system, right? But in Web3, what we're going to be doing is we'll be able to work with our content creators and be like, listen, here's your affiliate code, right? When anybody clicks that link to sign up to play the game, there's a percentage that will get kicked back to the affiliate that has the code. But on top of that, let's say, Jay Cluster, who's your favorite character so far in Wagmi that you like the most?
Let's just say the Human Emperor.
All right, sweet. So let's say, J Cluster is like, I really like the Human Emperor. What we can do is we can do a customized J Cluster NFT of the Human Emperor. It'll still be the same character in the game, but the NFT art will be just for J Cluster. And that'll be like his season 1. So any of J Cluster's fans that are watching and click his link, when they go to the game, they're going to get that NFT.
ooh,
Yeah. So
that's beautiful.
so like it's not like, hey, click my link and get 5% off when you spend money. It's, hey, click my link, get this free NFT just from playing the game. Now, let's say 5 months from now, Jay Cluster is like the most popular Wagmi influencer, right? Online. He's getting 50 to 100,000 views a video, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Just telling the future here.
Manifest it.
But when he first started out, maybe only 20 people claimed that season 1 Jay Cluster NFT.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're on season 5.
Yeah.
How much you think those season 1s are going to be worth?
Easy ETH.
Right, exactly. And on top of that, maybe J Cluster, we give J Cluster like a handful of those and he gives them away on stream. Hey, I'm giving away a season 1 NFT. Make sure you watch the stream. And so now that creators are going to be able to give away their NFTs, which you can trace in the blockchain, people are going to want to tune in that much more because they're going to want your stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Another thing that we're doing is Fusion. Fusion will probably go live next year, like Q1, Q2, but you're going to be able to sacrifice a human NFT and an alien NFT to create a Nephilim character. Okay. The Nephilim character can go on either the alien team or human team, or you can create a whole team of Nephilim if you want to. Right.
Wow.
Now, there's going to be a system in place where if you take a common human and a common alien and you merge them, more than likely you're going to get a common Nephilim. But there's still a chance you might get a legendary, right? Or else you would have to like grind and then level them up the traditional way, right?
Yeah. Right.
So now imagine J Cluster, you got a handful of human NFTs and a handful of alien NFTs, and you're like, I'm going to be creating Nephilim for the next hour. Watch live. I'm giving away whatever I create.
Okay. You also get that kind of like CSGO sort of mystery box sort of a pulling vibe. Okay.
So then, J Cluster takes his a human guy, an alien guy, he sacrifices them, and he mints a friggin' legendary, most rare Nephilim NFT, but he already said he was giving it away. So he's like, fuck, now I got to give away this $100 NFT. Because he's like, no matter what the next one is, I'm giving it away. And then he's like, damn it.
That's a legendary.
That's content. That's excitable content, right?
100%.
Yeah, that would be good
and then later next year, too, we're also going to have in-game wagering, which is something that I am very excited about. So skill-based matchmaking.
You got me.
If you are a content creator and let's say you're even just starting out, it's so hard to start out as a content creator because you're just not making any money. Like you're just not making any money, right? Now imagine you got, and also too, like I hate asking for donations. I'm sure like it's gonna It's like, hey guys, don't forget to donate if you like this. Like, I hate that. If it happens naturally, it's great. It's love. But like, I hate
sure.
asking for donations. But if you don't have a lot of subscribers and you want to keep the business moving, you gotta, hey, sign up, become a partner, become a subscriber, whatever. Well, imagine, we have in-game wagering and you're wagering like $5-10 a match, winner takes all, and you play for an hour or two and you're winning 60, 70% of the time. Now you had one person watching you, but you made a couple $100 because you're good at the game, right?
Right.
Sure. Yeah, and then that's kind of like, I think I talked to you about this cluster, or like a lot of my friends, like they're like, "Hey, why don't you play Web 2 games, like stream like popular games and stuff too?" It's like, well, as a smaller content creator, if I'm actually earning while I'm playing the game, it's kind of like me stacking up so that I actually earn what content creators that are higher than my level are actually earning with like twice or three times the viewers as me, right?
That's a good point.
I can make anywhere from 100 to $200 a week just playing different games that I'm in. So for sure, understand like the concept of that and feel like you guys are kind of making an easy mode button for people to be able to kind of grind out that smaller stage of content of being a creator. It's really,
Yes.
really, really rough. We have a lot of friends who are at that stage. We were at that stage. We're at a bigger stage now, but it's still like very hard to make a substantial amount of money to sustain life as a content creator that's under like 50,000 followers, right?
And
Macro or micro.
It's just going to get worse because we saw such an influx of content creators over the last 2 years because of COVID
For
that it's
sure.
like everyone and their mom is literally a content creator. And so you're fighting so hard. Like, and I was actually talking about this yesterday in the fitness space, and Ghost Cat said, hold on one second. Said that he used to watch my videos and learned a lot. I think it was
That was
Ghost Cat.
Dennis.
Oh, Dennis. Yeah, Dennis. Appreciate you, man. And I'm happy to have helped you. So, like, back when I was, first starting out doing content creation for fitness, it was like people would like hammer you asking what your credibility is. Like, what are you even certified in fitness to be giving fitness advice, right? And like crucified for it. And I had backgrounds, I have certifications. So like I'd have to be like, I have to prove myself that I'm certified to give this information.
Yeah.
Now, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
Like
no
anybody
one-
who looks like they work out is a fitness influencer, right?
For
Anybody
sure.
who lost 10 pounds and just shows a before and after photo can give fitness advice. And it's
Yeah.
like so much terrible information and misinformation that it's actually doing a disservice to the fitness community, right? And so, and on top of that, now all of these people are fighting over, like, the monetization pool is only this big. And even that pool of how much you can make is getting smaller because there's more pools showing up in different platforms.
Mhm.
Before, it was like everybody was monetizing and advertising on YouTube. Now you have so many other places. And so, yeah, like it's going to get to a point to where as a content creator, yeah, there will be the guys that are massive that are making tons of money, but like those mid-core creators, you're not going to really make enough to support what you want to do. You're going to have to find, like you say, King, find ways to stack. And I think in gaming, it's the introduction of tokens and NFTs, and maybe like land sales have done correctly, like big time. That's the only way you're going to be able to leverage doing this full time while blowing up your channel until the sponsorships come in.
Exactly.
So, and again, like, and it's funny because I talk to VCs, right? And they want to know about the game and all that stuff and our background. Whenever I talk about this side and how big content creation is, it's like what you said, it goes over their head. They don't, unless you've been a content creator, like you just don't understand the impact of everything I said earlier.
For sure.
Yeah.
And how important that is to us. You can't understand it unless you've done it, unless you've grinded for it, unless you get an email from a company, demanding all this shit for like $500. You're like, I'm not making you 6 videos for $500. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
They want to pay you what they would pay a contracted person for one job for like 8 jobs. And it's like, dude, just for the video editing alone, this job is going to cost $500 like in time. So
yeah, exactly. And like I noticed that even like you'll see a lot of brands, they don't really go after honestly, like if you have a big name, sometimes it's actually a deterrent because
Yeah.
they're like, why would I pay $5,000 to this guy when I can get 10 creators for $200 a pop? And a lot of them would just do it for free because they're like, ooh, I'll do it for free clothes.
Yeah.
And you're casting a wider net.
Yeah.
And so, and what
Talking about
is
this
that
last
doing?
week.
It's diluting the whole. So I'll give you an interesting story. When I was on the Real World back in 2009, it was still a thing back then to do like appearances at bars and clubs and
Yeah.
like colleges and stuff. And it's a very these promoters all talk to each other, obviously, right? So our season had 8 cast members, and we had like a meeting when the season ended, and we're like, hey, nobody take less than $1,500 for an appearance.
Yeah.
We got bills to pay. And then what happened? Some of our castmates started taking like $400.
Yeah,
Some would do it for
500.
free alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
then they'd call like
Insane.
me and be like, hey, Scott, you want to come do an appearance? I'm like, yeah, 1,500. And like, well, we just got your other castmate for 300 last week. I'm like, well, sucks for you. That's what
I guess
for
I'm
me,
worth
this is the
more.
price.
Yeah.
But again, like if everyone stuck to their guns, the base price would have been 1,500, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you see that same thing here as a creator. They're like, hey, King, we'll give you $500 worth of product if you do this. You're like,
Yeah.
man, I know that product cost you $50 max.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're gonna, put a $500 price tag on it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
And Ghost Cat's kind of nailing it on the head. I mean, he's really working on growing his content and his channel and stuff like that. And he's like a diligent Web3 creator, and he's saying that this last game, Bushy, is just coming out in June. It's like the first game that's even offered him a free NFT. Like, it's rough out there for Web3 creators. It really is. And I think one of the biggest problems is that like you said, everyone and their dog has become a Web3 creator, but a lot of the Web3 creators just think of it as like it's not something that they're very serious about.
Yeah.
And then the people who are serious about it are, taking this like it's their job, and they want to actually like cut a deal with a game that is beneficial for both of them. Whereas a lot of the Web3 creators are just like, yeah, whatever, like you're gonna get me
A
into
lot
the
of the
game
Web3
early.
creators will say a game is good just to get the paycheck, like even though the game is
Exactly.
shit.
Yeah, and
there's that too.
I hate that. And I'm a firm believer of one, I gotta like the game, and then if anybody sees me working with, and like my community knows, like, and like part of my friends, but I fuck with whoever fucks with me, right? It's like if you're showing the support, like you said, right? You guys are placing things in place early so that the content creators can actually thrive with you guys and grow with you guys. Because I honestly, we talked about this last night. I was talking to one of my friends, is you can pay a guy, right? We're talking about a football game we play, and you can pay the Madden guys to come out and play the game, but they'll play it for one day, right?
Yeah.
And it's not genuine. Their community will talk crap about it. They won't go back. They're doing it for a check, and it shows, right? And communities read that. Communities can tell, like, all right, he's getting a bag real quick. Let's just wait, and we'll go back to Madden tomorrow or something, right? So I feel like then they're focusing more on their core content creators, which are smaller, right? And me and a bunch of other guys. And it's smarter to do that because when those guys come around us, we genuinely like the game, right?
Yeah.
We genuinely give them good advice about the game. We help them out. We teach them about the game. These guys don't even know about the game because they're not playing it on a daily. Exactly. You're a paid shill. So it's not, you're not actually in the community. You don't know how the community feels. You don't know how the game goes and stuff like that. So it's like when we, as smaller content creators, and we said this last night, right? When we were streaming, is we can damn near bring in the same amount of people as these guys with 50K on boarding, right?
Yeah.
We'll bring in, since I've been to big time, almost like 15 people, and I've been there a week, right?
Yeah.
So it's like onboarding for us is really easy. One, we have a more connection to our community because it's smaller, it's more intimate, right? And it's just like
everybody by name, and
exactly, it makes more sense for you to build with the creator and help build up together. One, it builds a relationship, and it's like, okay, hey, these guys actually believed in me, instead of, hey, these guys are just not using, but are benefiting off of what I've already done for a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
So
No, I
it's
agree with you
huge.
100%. And and we'll, once our game is live too, like the goal isn't just to have like, hey, make everybody an affiliate. Like we do want to have like guys that we do on board for a long period of time to consistently create content because like we're gonna need guys to be able to create content around the new meta, the new characters, the best teams,
Yeah.
things like that. If you look up Clash of Clans, Clash Royale on YouTube, these guys are getting 100,000 views in like 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Because they're doing fun videos like that and people want to learn how to win, right?
Yeah.
100%.
So there'll be both sides of the coin. I want to answer Turtlebite real quick. Asked, said, I see your website pushing hard for mobile, which by the way, I love, of course, but I spend most of my time on PC. Do you guys plan on releasing a PC version as well? Yeah, there's like a Google thing that you can apply to have your mobile
Google.
game on PC, and we have that.
Yeah.
But also you can just connect your phone to your computer and Streamlabs. That's what I do whenever I stream. So I'm technically still on the PC, but I'm using my phone. But yeah, we want to have it on PC as well.
Yeah, I mean, you see that a lot with games, so I don't. It's not like a big barrier. A lot of the mobile games are also offering
BlueStacks or
PC
whatever.
versions. Yeah, PC versions on the Google Play Store and things of that
you
sort.
can
So
use things. There's emulators you can use too to play
Yeah.
on the PC, like BlueStacks, right? Things like that.
Yeah.
So that all exists.
yeah,
But
Ghost Cat, you can use Streamlabs OBS to do that. It's also another
And-
thing
yeah, that's
I
what
can
I
show
do.
you.
I use
Yeah.
Streamlabs.
It's a
Windows
few different
11
ways
is
you
also
can do it.
coming out with a way to just play Google Play apps natively on.
Yeah,
Windows
they sent
11.
me the beta thing, right? They sent me an email
Yeah.
for that to try it out. Google Play
Coming out
beta.
soon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when Turtlebite, but it'll be probably soon after we release our beta publicly. So our soft beta launch is July. We plan on doing our full release by the end of the year, like to the world, right?
Yeah.
But you guys can still play the soft beta launch. I mean, that's part of the one of the utilities of the Genesis NFTs. But I mean, anybody who really wants to come in, like anyone in our community that wants to jump in on the soft beta launch, of course they can come and play. We're just not advertising the soft beta to the world, right? We're just
Gotcha.
that the soft beta is our chance to make sure we get our KPIs right, make sure people are, we have a 40% retention rate, make sure the game doesn't break. And that's another thing too. When we brought on these guys like Brent from EA and everybody else, there is a process. I'm sure you guys are aware of this to rolling out a game. In Web3, it's like,
for sure.
here's the game, play it. It's like,
Yeah, it's not normally how it goes. Yeah.
yeah, like there's a whole process of rolling out a game to get it to where it needs to be for its mass release, because you really only get one shot, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And now your community is always going to yes you to death because your community loves you, and that's fine. We need to make sure the rest of the world is going to love Wagmi Defense as soon as they log in and start playing.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you've logged in recently, Jay Cluster, but we do have our AI bot live now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if there's two modes, there's battle, which is PvP, and then campaign. And if you click on campaign, you'll find a match in like 10 seconds. It'll be AI bot.
Awesome.
Oh, looks like I gotta go make me an account.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys.
Well, actually,
definitely
it
should
is
download
pinned
the
too,
test
guys.
kit.
It's pinned to the Twitch chat. If you guys don't have it, I'm gonna drop it for you guys right now into the global chat. Guys, go ahead and go and sign up. I mean, if you're listening like I'm listening, I'm sold already. I'm usually sold when it's like comic books off the rip, because comic books are involved.
We haven't even talked about that yet.
I know, bro, but that's. I mean, well, I'm segueing into there. That's where I was going next. But yeah, like, let's get into that. Let's jump into it. What does the comic books have to do with the whole ecosystem of things, I guess?
Yeah, let me I want to share my screen and show it while I talk about it.
Cool. Let's do it. Rexinator's in the building. What's up, Rexinator?
Let's see. Share screen. Neefy Wars.
There we go. Boom.
Let's go. So,
All right.
so we're actually going to be releasing our dashboard within the next week or two, so people can start locking up their comics and their Genesis NFTs to start getting some of the utility out of those. Now, for the comic books, anybody can go to GameStop's website, so nft.gamestop.com. Anybody can go here. There's 5,973 comics. You can click any comic, and you can actually open it, and you can read the story. You don't have to own it to go here and read the story, right?
Yeah.
With a limited collection, and that's what I don't get about some games. It's like if you have a limited collection, you have a limited amount of players. It's stupid. We want everybody to be able to read the story. Now, the kicker, though, if you own the comic book, when our locking system comes out, our dashboard in like a week, you're going to lock your comic and you're going to get a physical copy mailed to you, just pay shipping. And the physical copies were submitted 2 weeks ago, so those should be almost done by now. It's actually, I think the physical copy is going to be our legendary cover. So let's see, which has Susie on it, which is this one right here. Oh, my bad.
1,000.
Yeah, so with Susie punching this dude in the face. So that's going to be what the cover looks like, which is pretty badass. So if you want a comic, get it soon. They're pretty good right now. Mint price was about $89, and there's a lot for sale on here listed, I think, for like 40. Yeah, there's a couple listed for 40, and it goes up to like 119. So there are a handful left at a pretty good price. Now, when the game is live, and this is going to start in July, if you have the comic in your wallet that you're playing Wagmi Defense, you're going to get a comic exclusive war chest once a month for each comic that you own. And there's going to be comic variants of all of the characters in the game that you're going to be able to collect. And I showed King and Jay Cluster what those look like. And King was like, bro, I need a comic now.
Listen, I'll just say something, man. Those things are amazing. The artwork is crazy. I mean, like I said, I grew up comic book fan, Funko Pop fan, art fan. Like seeing the type of like detail into it and like how it's drawn out and illustrated, it's amazing. And then the colors and stuff too. They blend so well. It's like sometimes I see stuff and I'm like, yeah. It's not really. It's just kind of like throwing stuff together there, but they really like mesh really well. So I'm excited to see more.
Well, I was telling you guys,
gotta check my wallet now too.
I don't know. I can't drop their name, but the person who created the base structure for what the final versions of all of our NFTs are going to look like, was working on Apex Legends, doing all of their base structure stuff.
Apex Legends.
Yeah, we're bringing high level talent on to do this stuff. So what's going to happen with these comics is, I think, as soon as people start to realize that you can get these collectibles, the floor price of these is going to go through the roof. Oh wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, it was me. It was me. I muted my headset somehow.
Oh, I saw it.
It's like
he was too excited.
Yeah, I know. These comic books have got me like losing my shit over here.
So
I think you're right. The floor price is gonna.
Not financial advice, right? But I think once people start seeing the assets that you get, and there'll be other things in that comic exclusive war chest too, but one of the things is going to be a character exclusives, and those are going to be hard to get, right? Because you're only going to get one in a chest per month. So your chances of getting all the characters is going to take a while unless you have a bunch of comics.
For sure.
Or you're buying on the secondary marketplace.
Gotcha. So are more comics. So this is the original collection, right? Correct?
Yeah. There's 5,973.
And then how often will these be releasing?
So originally the goal was to release one comic a quarter. And our second comic is already almost done. But me being me, I made a lot of friends over the past few months. While I was at NFT NYC, I met these guys they have their own comics called Adult Fantasy. And
I think I heard of them too.
You probably have, actually. Their stuff is
follow a bunch of comic book creators on Twitter, so I think I do follow those guys.
So these guys, they used to work for Marvel. Like, these guys are legit, the real deal. And the comics that they have are freaking amazing. And so I'm talking to them, and I'm trying to figure out a way for us to work together, because they actually have this NFT technology for their comics that it puts the comic in a 3D like mint case. You know, when you get your comics rated, there's a case it comes in.
Yeah, CBC.
Yeah, so their collection comes is that, and then over time the covers get damaged, and so
Wow.
so like you never know what it's gonna look like until all the metadata updates. And it's funny because it's the damaged ones that look cool that are worth the most versus in real life, it's the perfect condition that's
Yeah, the
so it's
mints
very
that are
cool.
worth more.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was talking to these guys, and the reason why we met at NFT NYC is because they saw our comic at Immutable, and they came in the booth and they had on hats that said adult fantasy, but I recognized the font. And I was like, "Oh, you guys do comics?" Because they had like Spider-Man font for fantasy, right?
Yeah,
And they're like, "Dude," he's like, "Yeah, everybody else thinks we do like porn or something because it's adult fantasy."
I mean, it does kind of sound like a porn comic,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, so we started chatting, and I was like, "Hey," I actually did I was on their YouTube channel last week, or no, this week on Monday. So they have a YouTube channel, Adult Fantasy. We did a podcast together, but I was talking to him after the podcast, and I was like, I would love to work with you guys and start doing like, we have our main storyline, which this is at issue 1, and it's called The Betrayal because that's kind of tells the story of why the war is happening between the aliens and the humans. I go, imagine being able to do like origin stories for some of the characters and some of these branch offs, right? Just like you see in regular comic series. Like
yeah,
Marvel
MCU and the
isn't a straight
DCU,
line. You got the multiverse, you got character origins, you got the what if, you got all these different things.
100%
But obviously that takes talent, time, and money, right?
for
But
sure,
you work with the right guys that see the vision, you can get it done.
1000%, 1000%. That's
That seems
amazing
promising.
for sure. Those guys seem like they already got a kind of structure to itself. So I mean, and it works. Like MCU and I'm not even gonna say DCU. I'm a DC fan, but it's like when it comes to movies, they're just kind of lost right now in the sauce. But
Bro,
MCU is
did
like,
you make it through Shazam 2? I almost didn't make it.
yeah, no, I made it. I actually, honestly, I'm probably one of the only people who actually like the Shazam series. I might be bipartial to superheroes with lightning bolts in their chest, maybe, but I actually liked it. I feel like Shazam and I don't know, Black Adam was okay, but Shazam had more of the Marvel structure of success, right? The stuff that the family friendly, funny, action, drama, right? They add all of that into a nice looking film and not super dark like Justice League and stuff was. So I actually kind of liked it. But Marvel really killed it with the whole, like, I mean, if we look at Disney Plus, it's literally a branch off of the MCU, right? You got
Yep. Yep.
a bunch of different IPs that they pulled from this big one, right? And created these storylines. And it just creates more fans for those little guys that wouldn't have got recognized, right? So for you
Yeah.
guys to do that as well, and that is just gonna really emphasize your project to a bigger crowd and give your community more characters to actually attach to. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I agree 100%. Except that Shazam was good. Other than that, it was
we
it
can
was
agree
just
to
too
disagree on
stupid.
that
Like
one.
some parts were just too dumb. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
come on. Like not everything has to be a joke. Like let's have a
Yeah,
little
for
bit
sure.
of seriousness. It wasn't as bad as Thor, but
If people didn't like that one neither, I like that. I don't know what it is. Maybe
they
I'm like
made him
I'm
an
You're a
idiot,
bro.
bro.
cheesehead.
He's friggin' like, bro. You read the comics and you see Rune King Thor, and then you watch this movie and you're like,
Yeah,
are
okay,
you
I
serious?
understand that. I
Come
understand
on.
that. They weren't really going for the Rune King Thor is amazing, right? But I don't honestly feel like
Bro, you're
it would
talking
fit
about a
into the
guy
MCU.
who rips out his eyes
Yeah,
to become Rune King Thor, and then you
yeah,
see the last Thor movie, and you're like, yeah, I don't think that guy's ripping his eyeballs out.
yeah. I mean, they made him fat and stuff before that too. So I
But that
mean,
was kind of funny. He looked like
yeah.
Lebowski. That was awesome.
That was hilarious. I loved it. I mean, but yeah, man, it definitely gives them that. And it's good to see like kind of taking successful models, right? That's what I do, right? In content, anything I've done in life, I always watch successful people over time, right?
Yeah.
You can do something in one kind of generation, right? But over time is harder, right? So when you look at those models and you're like, okay, and you understand like, hey, this is what works, right? There's no need to try to figure something else out. You use what works and kind of cater that to what you got going on at your franchise or company or whatever. So
Yeah.
That's
But hey,
definitely a cool thing about Wagmi.
can you share the screen real quick? I want to show you
Yep.
something.
bada bing.
So this is the guys I was just telling you about, Adult Fantasy.
Oh,
Oh
right, yeah.
man, I love that artwork.
So that's how I recognize the text. Right?
Got you. Yeah, that's definitely Spider-Man text.
So check this out. Once it loads, so you can like spin it, you can see the back, right?
Oh yeah.
And then this one in particular, I mean, look at that art, dude.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the art is crazy. I'm actually like, it reminds me of art. I'm trying to think of what art style it is. Holy.
That's cool. So this is a black and white thing they did. How badass is
What?
that, dude?
That's amazing, bro. I love that.
Yeah,
It's giving me a
these
feel. I
guys-
just don't know what's the name. I love their artwork. The illustration is crazy. The illustration is great.
You see how it's like damaged in the corner here, right? It's
Yeah,
damaged up here.
okay. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. So like the weathering and stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, so I think the collection starts off mint, and then over time they get damaged.
Bro, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really dope. I have to look into those guys too. You're like literally making my pocket scream at me right now. Like, stop looking at these things.
You know, it's funny because so I have like a dual personality, right? I have like
Yeah.
times where I'm just like really quiet and focused, which is my
Mhm.
dad, and then I just bubbly and talking to everyone, which is my mom, right?
Yeah.
And so I make friends everywhere I go. It was when we first moved to Florida. We moved to Florida in 2018, and my daughter, like we had been there for a week, and we were staying in an Airbnb while we were building our house. That's a whole other story. But anyways, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the gym with Kevin," and then my daughter's like, "Who the fuck is Kevin? We've been here a week." I'm like, "Oh, he's my new friend at the gym. Then we work out together." It's like,
how it goes.
how do you already have a friend? I'm like, I don't know. We just started talking, like, and now we're
Yeah.
friends.
That's like me, man. I just get to talking. That's why I became a streamer. I talk too
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Well, it's good. It's fun to talk to your community, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It works out.
being in fitness and like being a creator there, I've done like the Arnold Classic and the Olympia for like 13 years straight. I've
Mhm.
seen people grow up, and to this day, like I'll remember everybody's face, but
For sure.
I'll forget names. Obviously, I can't remember everybody's name, but I remember everybody's face, and I'll point them out on the crowd. I'd be like, "Bro, what's up? I haven't seen you in a couple of years." They're like,
Mhm.
"Holy shit, you remember me?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"I don't know your name, but yeah, I
amazing.
remember you."
You build these long-lasting relationships. It's like it's crazy, and it's like over the internet too. It's like some guys you think you'll never see
That's
in
good.
life. Yeah, and then you do. I have 10 personalities. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
I've
believe it.
always had a thing where I wanted to make sure as I was growing in popularity on my YouTube channel that people felt like comfortable coming up to me in person. Because a
Yeah,
lot of times like people get like they don't like to come up to you in person because they don't know if you're gonna be standoffish or not, right?
yeah,
But I've always tried to be like very, warm and welcoming. And people do come up to me all the time, even it's funny at the crypto events, again, like a lot of my community, grew up with me for the last 10. So like they're now into crypto and they're doing all this stuff. And so
yeah.
when we go to Permissionless or Miami Decentral or NFT NYC, like I have fans come up to me like, dude, I used to watch your fitness videos. What are you doing now? Oh, I'm building a mobile game. Come check it
Yeah.
out.
That's super cool. It's just kind of like that's amazing, bro. Like I couldn't even like think like 10 years from now. I think I'm like on my third year in. Yeah, I'm like third year in on the content side. So
Well, dude, like this. So I'll tell you one thing, right? And this is just from experience. When I first started creating fitness videos in 2009, I had so much pushback because YouTube wasn't cool yet.
yeah,
And
that
people
was the
were
year I
like,
graduated high school. So yeah, it had like just started.
yeah. And people, King, they were like, why would I watch your videos when I can just buy a Men's Health magazine? Or there's people bigger than
Mm.
you, stronger than you, more ripped
For
than
sure.
you. Why is anyone going to watch your videos? And I was like, well, because I'm the only one doing it. And I'm helping people. Like my videos were all educational. Like, here's how you use this machine. Here's how you use this machine. Here's what to focus on. And it was like the people that saw the future there invested in me. And I see that same thing happening right now in the gaming space with NFTs is guys like us see what's coming. The rest of the world doesn't yet.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, it makes sense why you're in this space now. Because like if
Yes.
you're an early adopter to YouTube, early creator on YouTube, I mean like that was the toughest thing. One, they weren't even getting paid back then, weren't they?
Dude,
Just no money.
I didn't even do it to get paid. I didn't
Yeah.
even know you could get paid.
Yeah,
I was the general manager of my gym that I built, and I just got so brokenhearted over watching people quit the gym because they couldn't afford a trainer. So I would work and close the gym at 10 p.m. Then I would film these educational videos till like 1 in the morning, like these 2-minute, how-to videos on every exercise. So when people would come to the gym and sign up, I'd be like, hey, if you can't afford a trainer, watch these videos for free to learn how to use the machines. And that's how it started. And it's so different because now people only do fitness for clout, right? Most people, I
for
guess,
sure.
people still do it genuinely, but it's
Blame
like,
TikTok.
yeah, it's like, you got these kids that are 15, 16 years old, literally pumping themselves with steroids and all these other drugs because they don't know that they're going to get the most attention if they look the way they would have looked naturally at 21. But
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
15, so how are you gonna make it happen? You're not. So it's very different. Creates a lot of body dysmorphia. Again, this isn't about fitness. We can talk about that
Yeah.
later. But it's the world right now is teetering on the thought of, do we like NFTs in gaming or not? Now is the
Right.
time. Like, even though it's a bear market and things are slow, now is the time to be building and to be accumulating for that very reason. And if you can see it that way, it makes sense. If you're stuck in these echo chambers on Twitter where everyone is just like hype and just talking about the same shit every day, it's hard to kind of see this parallel between what's happened in the past with emerging technology. So
Mhm.
it's good to take a step back and see, like, okay, what's the world think, what's happening here, and what's going to be the outcome. I think the outcome is going to be gamers hate everything new. We saw it with microtransactions in mobile games. I'll never
Sure.
play a mobile game with microtransaction. Yeah, that shit lasted how long? 53% of $205 billion in gaming comes from microtransactions. Or
Exactly.
I'll never buy a battle pass. That's stupid. I'll never pay, for items in a game. That's stupid. And now it's like the norm. So
Yes, the
Yeah.
norm for sure.
so NFTs are just the next thing that gamers hate. And then once that gets adopted, they'll probably hate the next thing after that, which is land sales. Then
Yeah.
after that gets adopted, they'll hate the next thing after that, which is who knows what it is.
Yeah. And I think another thing like with that is where we circle back to content creators and bigger and smaller ones like micro and like major content creators, right? The major content creators still play a key role. It's just finding genuine ones, right? And
Yeah,
ones that
100%.
genuinely like the game and will genuinely promote it and keep playing it. And they're essential
And
to the
adopting the
ecosystem.
technology, right? Like, I mean, okay,
Exactly.
so an example would be Dr. Disrespect, right? Like,
Perfect.
he is a huge creator. He doesn't give a damn about whether or not you like NFTs. He's like, I like them, so I'm gonna make a game with them and sit down and shut
Yeah.
up, and it's gonna be good. Like, and that's really important too. Like, that kind of adoption from a larger creator really is, it changes the game, and it changes the narrative. People have to start talking about them differently now because somebody with such a huge following has decided to do something. So yeah, Snoop Dogg's another great example. He doesn't
Yeah.
give a damn. He's like, this is a sweet way to monetize, and I'm gonna be like the king of it. And
Yeah.
he's doing it, right?
I mean, he has his own friggin' spider tank in Gala.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
has his own metaverse land in Sandbox.
Yeah, his own
Everywhere.
skin avatar in Sandbox.
I mean,
And
he's literally was in Call of Duty. You can play
yeah,
as Snoop Dogg.
for
Like, I remember
sure.
one
Yeah.
time I got rolled
He's
up on by
nasty
4
too.
Snoop Dogs in Warzone.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And have you seen him play? Have you seen Snoop play Warzone?
No.
He's disgusting. I
Really?
watched him down and got 4 times just fucking with him. He kept trying to buy his team back. He's just like, "Grrr," let him get up, runs around, "Grrr," let him get up, runs around. So yeah, huge. And I feel like also too, another key component in which we have been seeing lately, and we're going to 3XP, me and Jay Cluster. So we'll see really what the temperature is with it. But I feel like esports orgs are gonna play a key role in it. Esports orgs, not that they have the biggest content creators. I feel like now it's shifted to the bigger content creators are more of the regular streamers and like actual content creators and not the big esports guys like the Ninjas and the Nick Mercs and those guys, right? It's kind of shifted to more of the casual guys.
Yeah.
But those guys still have a huge fan base from being on teams like Optic, Cloud, and you got FaZe and 100 Thieves and stuff. And these guys are in these big conglomerates that have huge fan bases that are like cult-like, right? So if these guys start playing these more and they start adopting more and keep going to these events, like they went to the one in Texas with Dr. Disrespect, Optic went out there, and you have FaZe in Miami. I
There's a
don't know if
couple.
any of the guys were up at NFT NYC. I didn't go this year. I don't know if you've seen any organizations there, Scott, but I feel like they're gonna play a
I
key.
can barely see shit out of that helmet.
Oh yeah, you did wear the thing the whole time. I forgot.
Literally
yeah,
had
so,
one eye.
yeah. So yeah, I see a little bit of you, dude. But yeah, I feel like they're gonna play a key role in it too, and we kind of see them already getting their feet wet. I feel like if they jump in more to like monetary value in esports brings people as well, right? We see it with Fortnite, right? Fortnite was one of the first games to really implement in tournaments in the game where you could actually earn real money outside of the game, right?
Yeah.
And then be able to compete to get to bigger levels. Like Booga went from playing in his bedroom to earning $2 million within like a year or so. So it's like that brought a lot of people's eyes to it. So I feel like esports orgs are definitely going to have to like really get involved as well with the bigger content creators and just come with like genuinity.
Well, we're going to be building a whole tournament platform even in our game so that creators can make their own tournaments, and it's all
That's awesome.
automated.
Answers
So
my question before I ask it, right?
yeah, so like one of the hardest things about tournaments, that takes a lot of time to run them, make sure that people are fighting who they're supposed to fight, they're being honest with who won. I met some guys at NFT NYC that have been building out this technology for the past few years where you'll literally be able to just run a tournament hands off and just set the parameters. Like for our game, for example, you'd want to do a best out of like 3 or 5 because the matches
Yeah.
are so short, things like that. And then you can make it also set up so that as soon as the tournament's over, because it's blockchain, whether it's tokens, ETH, USDC, or NFTs, the prizes just get distributed immediately.
Is this community gaming?
No, but we are talking to them too.
Yeah, I work
Yeah,
with them.
they
I
have
do
the same. They
tournaments
have technology
for,
too. Like, I mean, I'm talking to like 5 or 6 different tournament platforms that I want us on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for
this
sure.
one is GU Stakes that I'm talking about.
Got you.
That's
Okay.
looking
Yeah,
that
but
one.
I've actually been
Yeah.
talking to Chris for the past few weeks. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we won't be at 3XP just because we're all hands on deck getting ready for this beta launch. But Chris from 3XP or Community Gaming is very
Yeah.
excited to work with us once
Yeah,
the
Chris
beta
is
is
great.
out. I mean, he sent me the PDF doc of what they do for tournaments, and
Yeah.
it's basically what I just described and
For
even
sure.
more. And
Yeah.
these guys, they have so much experience in doing tournaments and getting gamers on board that it's like it's experience you can't buy, right?
Yeah. My contact for them has been throwing esports tournaments and competing in them for like over 15 years. So
Oh wow.
yeah, they're really like, and I like to see more of these gaming platforms come out with the whole the automated payments. Like for me to be able to distribute payments to everybody by just clicking one button at the end, it's amazing. So like you guys building stuff out like that. It was actually one of my questions was like esports and tournaments and how you guys were going to kind of build that out. I mean, you kind of answered it without me having to ask it.
Yeah,
So
the funny thing, and you guys probably hear this a lot too, like, because I'm sure games reach out to you. They're like, "Yeah, we're building an esports game." I was like, "Yeah, can you explain to me how that works? How do
exactly.
you build an esports game exactly?" It's
No,
like, no,
Yeah,
you
if
build
you're lucky
culture.
enough to get to esports, good. You
Yeah,
can't build an esports game. You can
for
build
you
a
have to
sure.
really cool
want
game,
to.
hoping people like to play it enough that it becomes esports.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, these games with huge esports, like actual like viewership and stuff like that. These are huge games like League
Oh
of
yeah.
Legends and all of these big games are
well,
like
think about like Counter
millions,
Strike,
millions,
right? Okay, so
millions of
back when
users.
I was like playing Counter Strike,
Mhm.
way back in the day, like before Counter Strike, was it CS, Source?
Yeah.
Before Source, like tournaments were happening, but it was like buddies all showing up at their house with their PC, doing a LAN party.
Yeah, LAN parties.
And it was super informal, and there probably wasn't even really a prize. It was just like some sort
bragging
of like,
rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's how it started. It took a while for Counter-Strike to actually organize effectively enough to create legitimate tournaments that were really like that meant something.
Well, our
And
goal is to do the guerrilla marketing, and literally because of the IP that we have, we can do NFT events, we can do Comic-Con, we can do gaming conventions,
yeah,
and we can show up with our booth and we can have our own tournaments, right? We can set up the iPads, have a closed
yeah,
tournament, and then have prizes that we give away, you know, even
That's
IRL
brilliant.
prizes, right? Like
So
we
you're
already have
creating.
a few, like we have statues being made right now of our human emperor that we're giving to some of our Genesis holders as part of utility for getting a gold emperor.
I wanted to ask about that.
Yeah, so those are going to be done soon. My friends over at Adult Fantasy already put me in contact with a couple toy manufacturers. I've talked to the guys over at U2s. So U2s are kind of like Funko Pops, but they're a lot more detailed to them.
Yeah.
I've already talked to the owner of that company about what it would take to make some U2s of our characters.
Mhm.
And again, right, like having all these conversations now, because you know, once the game is popular and people have their favorite characters, just look like my room, I want my character on my desk, or I want
For
a
sure.
display of it, right? And when it comes when toys and collectibles come like after the fact, it doesn't feel like a a money grab. It feels like,
Exactly.
hey, we have an audience that wants these things,
You
right?
gotta let them love the characters
Yeah.
first. Don't force them to love the characters. Right? Yeah.
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 I love
Yes.
that.
Exactly.
I love that, man. You guys got a lot going on, man. Like,
I feel like we've barely unpacked anything yet. Like we're just
yeah,
scraping the
bro.
surface.
It's so much. It's like an iceberg of Wagmi right now.
You know,
Uh,
I gotta say, you know, it never feels like selling Wagmi when I talk about it.
yeah.
So, like for example, when I used to work in a gym, I never had to sell training. I would just go on the floor, I'd help people fix their form, and then just like leave.
Yeah.
And then it was just like people wanted to buy training because they were just like so happy with the free advice, and I was knowledgeable. I knew what I was talking about. And
It's
I get
amazing
that
what
same.
happens when you're excited about something, right? Like
Yeah, exactly. Like I was just always, I love helping people even to this day, like in my gym, people are like, "Are you a trainer?" I'm like, "No, I just like I need to help you. Like you're just doing it wrong. Like
Yeah.
I can't sit here and watch you screw this up."
Exactly. It's just in me. It's embedded it.
Yeah.
the passion. And so
For
you
sure.
feel like you have that sort of same passion for Wagmi. I can feel it. Like
Oh, for sure.
like you want to talk about it. There's so many cool things. And like I said, like we barely talked about anything. Like there's still so much. We didn't talk about your Genesis NFT collection really at all. We didn't
Yeah.
talk about what the utility of that is. We
Yeah.
didn't really talk about what the founders you know packs are gonna entail or what's gonna be in them. We barely even talked about the token and how the tokenomics is gonna work, like because getting
Our
the
token right now is not financial advice, but like everyone chased Mong and Pepe. And so we had like a little bit of a dip in our token. Like we literally saw the money leaving our token and going into the pockets of the Mong and Pepe holders.
yeah,
And it created a real nice dip that a lot of our community was like buying up, which was great.
yeah,
That's lit. Yeah. Got to seize the opportunity, man.
Well,
Pay
and
attention to
you
what's
know, the
going
thing
on.
about our token too, right? So a lot of people in crypto get really impatient and they're like, why isn't the Wagmi token pumping right now? While everything else is pumping, why isn't the Wagmi coin token? We're not a meme token that's pumping on hype, right? Like there was no reason to buy Pepe or Mong or these other tokens. You were just it was just chasing green candles. And if you got in early enough, you made money. It's gambling. Our token is a 100% utility token, which means our token, you know, the volume we do and the token price is tied directly to the success of the game, which is coming in July. The game is launching in July. So,
Okay.
for example, you're going to use our token to enter tournaments. You're going to use our token to buy the battle pass. You're going to use our token to get to, an exclusive area, like a boutique version of our shop, in-game shop, right? We're going to have some governance added to our token as well to deal with in-game things that we do. So everything in the game is tied to the token. Now, if you're smart and you're crypto savvy, you understand how crypto works and how token prices work and liquidity and market cap and all that stuff, right? Remember, our goal is mass adoption. So people that are going to be buying our token in the game might not even necessarily know it's a crypto token, right? They're just buying it like they would COD points in Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you get 100,000 people buying $10 worth of Wagmi Games token, that's a lot of volume. So the people who understand crypto investing and probably got a bag of the token, and are going to take profits, they understand that side of things. But to have a sustainable economy, the token has to have use case in the game. It can't just be buy for the sake of buying.
Yeah.
So that's what we're bringing to the table. And so when the game is live, we start onboarding players. Players are buying and spending the token. That's when you're going to start to see the price obviously go up because there's going to be a lot more volume. That's when you're going to start to see us getting listed on exchanges, tier 1s and tier 2s. And we've been telling our community for the past few months, like, hey, we're in contacts with these big exchanges, but there has to be a plan in place before you list. Like, I've seen a lot of tokens list on tier 1s and maybe not tier 1s, but tier 2s especially. It does nothing for the price.
Yeah.
Like, if there's no reason to buy the token and you're paying $100,000, $200,000 to get listed on a tier 2, there's a lot of Twitter hype, and then maybe a lot of people in the community that hold the token buy more of it because of the hype, thinking that's going to go up. But there's really no reason to buy the token.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to time getting listed on exchanges when there's a reason to buy the token.
That's
and
a
then
fact.
if you time it like that, you can probably get listed on a lot of these exchanges for free or for very little listing fee because they want a piece of that action.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And it's hard to have these conversations with our community sometimes that are so deep into crypto because the nature of crypto is like degen, right? Like, why isn't it going up? Why aren't you listing? Why is because we're not a hype token. We're an actual business. Like, we're making smart business decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Leading up to game launch so that we can be sustainable and be around for the next 5 or 6 years.
Taking newer technology, but using familiar structures so that people don't get too strung out about the whole crypto situation, which is smart. It's like, I see it in it's a good thing to see in a lot of these games that are coming out like within this year and next year, where they're like not really masking it, but not making it as like it's not like in your face like crypto and like, right, it's not like in your face.
It's just things, but they're not like this. It's not like the focus. It's not like we're a crypto game.
Because a year ago that's how it was.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to have really any terminology, crypto terminology, anywhere to be seen in our game, right? Like, it's digital collectible. It's not NFT. I mean, even when you log into our game, a custodial wallet is created for the user. And then as they're playing the game and they're earning the characters, they're going to be stored in their custodial wallet. They're still at that point, if they're not a crypto person, they're not even going to know that they own these characters. They're not even going to know that they're NFTs. We're going to educate them as they play the game. So maybe a week or two after they've played or something, right? Then you get like a video, because we have our characters rigged in Unreal 5 engine so we can make them talk and animate. So maybe one of our characters pops up and is like, hey, did you know that my card is worth $10 on the secondary market? Here's how you go and sell, or here's how you go and buy.
Exactly.
And you gamify even that education to make it fun. And at that point, they've already been playing the game, and maybe a lot of these players haven't spent any money yet, but they're being told that their NFT is worth money, and they're like, how does that work? Right? And then they go and they figure it out. And so and then at that point in time, we teach them how to claim their wallet so it becomes non-custodial. But for everybody else who is crypto savvy, as soon as you log in, you can change your custodial wallet to your MetaMask or your Trust or your OKX or whatever wallet that you have, your GameStop wallet.
Yeah.
But if you're not crypto savvy, well, we don't. I envision probably a lot of people are going to play our game, and they're not even going to want to deal with the NFT side. They're just going to play because it's fun, just like every other game that's making billions of dollars right now. Right?
Sure.
You're just playing the game because it's fun. And that's the disconnect is, oh no, we're a Web3 game, so we have to shove all this crypto shit in your face.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's not working.
No.
I've never bought a game because the marketplace was pumping. Sorry.
Correct. And you never bought their token. Like, you don't play Call of Duty to buy COD points.
No.
And it's funny because we've explained our economy to like people that are pretty, I can't say their names right now, people that are pretty big in crypto, like huge personalities, huge followings. And we've explained our whole economy and everything. And they're like, well, tell us more about the token. And like, it's not a fucking degen play, you assholes. Like, we're not here for you to pump and dump us. That's not how this business works.
Respect. I love it.
Like, we are a utility token.
Yeah.
Yes, the price will more than likely go up, but it'll go up when the game comes out.
Exactly.
Right?
When
and
people
like,
are more
they
active.
can't get it because, and then to them, they're like, well, this isn't a good investment for me because I can't pump and dump it in like 2 weeks. Right?
Yeah.
Well, then it's
Like,
not an
well,
investment at that point because
we're
investments
not
have longevity.
working our ass off for you to make a quick buck. Sorry, Chief. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
So
bro.
but that sort of leads me to you guys' Genesis collection, right? So holding that also has utilities. So there's utility token, and then you have the utility NFT, really.
Yes.
And from what I remember, the Genesis collection NFT holders will be getting a percentage of the microtransactions that are kind of happening on the app, right? And is that coming? Are they going to be paid out with Wagmi token?
No. It'll probably be in ETH or USDC. So we have a Medium article that we released a couple weeks ago because people were asking us about all of this, and there was some misinformation. And so I'll send that to you guys so you can read it. But essentially, we have our Genesis collection. So the very first collection we launched, and we did it to this date. We've done about 1,039 ETH in trading volume. At one point, the floor price was 2 ETH, which was insane. But there's a handful available right now for under 1 ETH. I think maybe there's like 15 or 20. And so the collection, what you were talking about, Jay Cluster, is there's a 10% tax built into our NFT marketplace. And that 10% tax is going to go into different pools that if you have your Genesis NFT locked on our platform, you're going to get a portion of that pool for completing some tasks. So like play a match or give us some feedback or whatever that might be. There'll be some tasks that you have to do in order to claim some of the money from that pool, right?
Okay.
And so basically the way it's going to work is that 10% is put into a pool, and everyone who owns a Genesis NFT has an equal opportunity to claim from that pool. So if you have 10 Genesis NFTs, right, essentially that's 10 chances to claim from that pool. So that's why a lot of people bought a lot of these, because they obviously wanted to earn more from these pools that are being created. So that's why there's like 28% unique owners. So the founders packs that are being sold is going to be the first time that people who own a Genesis NFT are going to be able to lock and then claim from the income created from that pool, which is going to be awesome. That's why a lot of people have been buying and selling these things like crazy. That's just one of the utilities, though. So other utilities for the Genesis NFTs is we're going to have some Genesis tournaments. So exclusive tournaments for Genesis holders only. And actually our first tournament is going to be for Genesis holders. It's going to be a $10,000 tournament. And you're going to be able to enter with a Genesis NFT, or if you own multiple, you can rent out the NFTs if you want. So maybe you bought the NFT, but you're not a gamer. You can rent out your Genesis NFT to someone else to play in the tournament, which is pretty cool.
Well, I'm a broke boy, so if anybody needs to delegate somebody, I'll let your boy.
I might have a couple. I'll give you one of mine to play with.
All right, cool.
Some other utility for the Genesis NFT is there's going to be a gold armor human emperor and gold armor alien emperor NFT that you're going to get when the game launches live. So there's only ever going to be 3,022 of those. So very, very exclusive, massive flex. And this character is going to be gold when you play him on the map as well. So like not only will the NFT art be cool, but like you're literally going to be playing and all of a sudden homeboy drops a gold human emperor on the field and you're like, oh, I wish I had that.
Yeah. So is it gonna like shine? Is it gonna have like an aura, or is it just kind of like a gold like armorish?
It's gonna be, I mean, the team that we have creating is probably gonna make it like very evident that it's different.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't have an exact answer yet. We haven't created it yet. We're still a little ways away from that release. And some other utility for the Genesis collection is when the full version of the game does come out, there will be like an exclusive loot crate that's created for all of these that have a special version of all the characters.
Got you. So they get like a special loot crate.
Yeah. So we don't have all the details and what that's going to consist of, but kind of think like the comic NFT, right? So it has like a variant for the comics. There'll be like a Genesis collection variant for the holders here. So there's a lot of utility with this collection. And with us so close to launching these founders packs, our community is very excited because they're going to be able to lock these NFTs and finally start pulling from these pools, these staking pools. So it's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's a lot of utility going around here.
We
have different levels of it.
We really wanted to make sure that our utility was top notch. In fact, here, let me change my screen again real quick.
Yeah, so it seems like you have like multiple levels of like getting in there and kind of like getting involved in the project. I mean, from like $40 to like about 0.4 ETH. So
yeah, and the original mint price on these was 400. I think right now they're like 800, 900 bucks for the 20 or so that are available under 1 ETH. But this is what I was talking about right here, the Genesis rewards. So the Genesis NFTs are permanently linked to our flagship game, Wagmi Defense, with a 10% tax applied to primary sales of in-game NFT funding the Genesis rewards pool. Each Genesis NFT owner will have a proportionate chance to claim these rewards from the 3,022 units available. And to clarify, all 3,022 NFTs have equal opportunity when it comes to this utility.
So if you have multiple NFTs, does it stack?
Yeah, exactly. It'll stack. Awesome. So that 10% basically works out to like for like every $1 million of income created from the marketplace comes out to like $33 per NFT if you complete these tasks.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's definitely great utility.
And so this is also the platform where you'll lock your comics as well. So you'll have everything here. Oh, Raceman said they're just shy of $900 a piece right now with the current price of ETH.
Okay. I wish I could afford one.
And I told you to get one when they were way cheaper than that. So
I tried and I couldn't afford back then.
Just kick that OnlyFans back up, bro.
We're about to start selling feet pics again.
Start selling feet pics.
Got to get these feet pics going.
God damn.
Selling feet pics to buy Wagmies.
Here's the war chest that we talked about. Oh, and there'll also be like a monthly war chest that'll give you Adalium credits, which is what you use in the game to buy like things you need to upgrade your characters because you need cards and Nephi, right? So there'll be that, exclusive tournaments. Oh, there'll be a discount as well. So if you hold the NFT, you'll get a discount on items you buy in the shop. Future will mint. So everybody who had a Genesis NFT got a whitelist spot for the comic. So if you have a Genesis, you're basically being grandfathered into whitelist spots for every other mint that we do. And then so here there was 10 gold emperors, and if you minted one, you're gonna get a statue.
Right?
That's lit.
Yeah. So these are being painted right now, actually.
Yeah. And that's cool to see like IRL utility and in-game utility.
Oh yeah.
It's like either you get either or sometimes, or it's like most of the IRL stuff that I've experienced was more like sports or membership projects.
Well,
Not
here's the
really. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, here's the thing, right? We have one Genesis collection, we have
Mhm.
one token, and then we focus on the game. And what you see a lot in the space is, oh, it's been 2 months. Here's another NFT collection. Oh, we need more
Right.
money. Here's another token. And you still don't even have the use case for the first.
Right.
And we didn't want to do that. We're like, well, we'll just add as this company grows, we'll add more utility to the token and to the NFT collection
For sure.
because it's not a money grab.
I like
It's
that.
a
Yeah.
business.
Thank you for not bringing a money grab to this space.
I mean, we're definitely a for-profit company.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
we want to
business.
do it the right way.
Yeah, I mean, like business is business, right? And I expect companies to make smart financial and fiscal like decisions, right? But also, I don't want to feel like you're just in it to take my money. Like you actually want to provide a service and provide a proper environment, and in that, my reciprocation and like showing that I appreciate this is me spending my money with you, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. It's the best way to put it.
yeah.
That's been a lot to unpack. It's been
yeah.
a lot to unpack. Jesus.
You got any more questions,
one.
Cluster? Like, he's covered so much. I had so many questions, bro, and it's like I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, well, he just covered that. Okay, well, he just covered that. Okay, oh, I do have this one. Okay, this is a cool one because we talked about this earlier, right? Are there any plans to expand the franchise into like a cinematic universe, like a TV series, maybe films and stuff like that? Like we've seen it work for MCU and like kind of work for DC, but
Oh yeah.
it's a huge thing in like comics now to like kind of strive to get either a series or some type of a live action thing. So do you see
Yeah.
anything of that happening?
So we've actually already had like some anime created for some of our characters, and
Okay.
we have a clothing line coming out pretty soon. It's gonna be in July. Again, July is like a big month, right? So we already
Awesome.
have some of our like anime renditions of our characters. I can show you guys after because I know I can't show on screen. Sorry,
Okay.
fam. And I know Lewis has a contact over at Netflix. I think one of like the co-founders or whatever that he's been talking
Yeah.
to. I think the goal moving forward is to really start to expand our comics and get the story out there. And then as the story grows in popularity with the game, yeah, like
Yeah.
100%. I want to see I don't know if it'll be live action first, but I know on Netflix, for example, like they do so many Netflix originals for anime and cartoons. I would
Yeah.
rather see that first for us. I think that really targets our audience the best. And then once things get really crazy and you can develop the proper budget, then maybe a live action type thing. I mean, we got aliens fighting humans. Like you need some good
Yeah.
like the Halo
CG.
what they did in Halo. You guys watch the Halo live action?
I haven't yet. I need to, man. That's one of my favorite
I
titles.
mean, the editing and how the characters looked, like the aliens and the Spartans, like it was Halo,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
What
And you
the
kind of want
aliens
to
called again? Shit, the Covenant. When you
Covenant,
saw the
yeah.
Covenant, you were like, "Oh shit, this looks just like what I remember playing in
When
Halo
I
1 and
growing
Halo
up, yeah.
2." So, yeah.
You definitely want to hit that on the head and make sure it translates from the game to the movie. Because I mean, we seen that with Sonic. Remember when Sonic first came out, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And they literally went back and redid the whole CG for it. So yeah, for sure, you definitely want to do that. And I'm excited. I mean, like you guys have enough lore, you guys have enough like backstory and enough characters and beautiful artwork already to like have a big future in that like further down the line, right? We want to focus on building out the game first and making
Yeah,
sure it's
exactly.
beautiful and making sure it's not
There's a
any
lot
a
of
lot of bugs and stuff. So
Yeah, there's a lot of working pieces. Yeah, and Raceman says make sure you check out the song. Yeah, so our trailer, I don't know if you watched our trailer, but we had an original song made for it. My buddy Justin created it. You'll have to watch it later. It's quite incredible.
yeah,
He's
I'm
actually
gonna
already
check it
almost
out.
done with song 2.
Oh man,
Let's go.
let's go, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if Ghost Cat is a content creator, you can just reach out to me directly on Twitter, bro, and I can fill you in on what we're doing as we move forward.
Yeah, Ghost Cat's amazing. Ghost Cat's one of a good friend of me and Cluster. So
Yeah, Ghost Cat, hit
Yep.
me up. Yeah, I'll save your name too. Send me a DM on Twitter.
I think his Twitter's like the same name as well. So
Yeah.
I think he's
Awesome.
branded all the way around the board.
Yeah, I got him right here.
Dude, yeah, you killed my questions, man. It's crazy. It's amazing though. Like that just shows like how much you're into it and how immersed you are in this project. And like I can feel the energy when you talk about it. It's some like I tell Clutch all the time. I watch stock pitches for work. Right, that's what I do. I watch people come and talk back to the investors and the VCs and all this stuff. Right, and you can tell when somebody really is hands on with their company and somebody who's detached from their company, right? The detached guys are reading off notes. They're like, yeah, this. And then they're like, it's before the meeting starts, you have like the other guys that are under them that are kind of like prepping them for it and all of this stuff. And it's like they're really detached. So like to see how much energy you have like pushing out when you talk about it, and it really shows, and I love to see it. I wish we had like 1,000 more of you in the space. I feel like it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're working slowly but surely, and like me and Kless are trying to find guys like you and you know what I mean, girls, whatever, right? And kind of like
People are
showcase
just
that
really
and
passionate. Yeah.
yeah, bring it to the forefront because a lot of it is like this pump and dumps, these shilling outs and these rug pulls and these CEOs and stuff who aren't really attached to these games and IPs and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I love to see it.
I appreciate that, man. I'll toot my own horn. I hope we set the bar really high.
Yeah,
I hope that when we roll everything out that we have coming, that we set that bar up here. And honestly, like I would love for companies to reach out to you guys, and then your rebuttal's like, well, Wagmi does X, Y, and Z, and
Right.
this is what we get. So
yeah. I mean,
and set that standard even for content creators. It's
for
like
sure.
these guys get behind us, they push us, they understand how important content creators are. Cause I do. Like we need to make sure that once this game is live, like there needs to be excitement around it. And I don't want fake excitement. I only want
Content
people
creators is so
making
important for
content
that.
that are genuinely excited about it. Like I
Mhm.
might pay you for 2 videos, but you love the game and you know that your community loves it, so you make 10, right?
Yeah. That's where I'm
And
at with one of the companies I'm dealing with. I love the project so much that when they ask me to do stuff, I'll kind of go a little bit
above and beyond,
exceeding, yeah, above and beyond because I actually enjoy it. And then I feel like I'm wanted here, right? You play for Fortnite, you never talk to those guys unless you become an esports pro or somebody on the front page of Twitch. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Hey man, everybody starts at 1.
Oh yeah, 100%. You gotta learn to love the grind and just wait it out, man, for sure. A lot of things like you guys just heard Scott, right? And to the content creators in here, right? You said you did YouTube since 2009, right? And when do you feel like you really took off, like on your content? Like how many years in?
Well, for me, it was very different, right? Because I was early to YouTube.
Mhm.
I would say for me, after about the first year or year, maybe year and a half max, I was breaking even and I could quit my job.
Yeah,
And then it started to take off. But I mean, I was the first person ever in the fitness space, at least, to become an influencer, like a sponsored influencer with a supplement company called BSN.
yeah,
And I've been with them for 13 years. But like that happened when I had 4,000 subscribers.
yeah,
Like you have 4,000
Mm.
subscribers now, who gives a shit, right?
yeah, for sure.
It's a very different world. So for me, things started to take off probably a lot faster than the average person just because I was so early. But I
Yeah,
will tell you, the only reason why I did take off is because in the beginning, when I started making videos, I would upload a video and then every single day I would start my day, I'd wake up, I would go to every video that I had and I would answer every unanswered comment. And I did it every single day for like, I don't know, maybe like 6 months to a year.
yeah,
And it would take
Yeah.
me like 8 to 9 hours sometimes a day. But I was going back, go back, building my community and building credibility.
for sure.
So and like it's tips and tricks like these. Nowadays we just upload a video and we're like, I'm not answering these comments. Like on
Yeah.
Twitter, right?
Some
I
people are
see
scared
people
to
they
look at
never
them.
respond to any fucking replies on their Twitter.
Gotta do it.
And it's like, dude, you have to do it not just because like show that you actually give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have to do it. You should want to do it. Like these,
Yeah.
it's like
You
want
started the
people to
conversation. You need to continue it.
yeah, and
To ask you a
obviously-
question, you'll answer, and then they say nothing back.
Yeah, or like I used to pick on this guy. I forget his Twitter handle. It's like Joe something, whatever. And he would like post something, and then 8 hours later, be like, thank you everyone for commenting, right? And then I just started noticing that that's all he would do. He'd do a post, and 8 hours later, and I would reply, I'm like, why the fuck do you even do a post? Like, you clearly don't
Yeah.
give a shit. You don't answer anyone's questions. You know,
I'm just debating for analytics.
yeah, just like it's a post for engagement. Is all it's engagement
sure,
farming.
yeah.
Like nice engagement farming post. And hey, like you're gonna get to a point where you can't respond to everybody, but maybe you're at least responding people for the first like 45 minutes after you post, and your community knows that. So they know if
Yeah.
they see your post and they comment right away, maybe you might get a response, but at least they're seeing you respond to other people.
Yeah.
Like if you have 100 comments on a post, no one's expecting you to reply 100 times.
Oh yeah.
And also, don't just reply to the people being assholes. Like reply to the people being nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Totally.
tend to do that, right? Like we go
Yeah.
through the comments, and then there's that one dickhead who says some shit, and you're like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna respond to that guy, make sure you then respond immediately to 5 other people who are being nice,
Yeah.
and
Or
have that
just
ratio of like 5 to 1.
do like the NBA players and make your alt account, right? And then you respond to the assholes on the alt account, and you respond
Yeah.
to the cool people on the on your main account. I was
Yeah,
listening to them talk about that. They were
that's
like,
a good idea.
yeah, they make alt accounts to talk shit back to the people that talk shit on their Twitter, so they doesn't look bad. I mean, it's amazing. It's smart as shit, but yeah.
I
One
love
reason why-
responding with my account and being like,
One reason why Wendy is the fast food PR queen. What were we talking about? I don't know. You threw me off there, Turtle.
Wendy's just like their social game is really on point.
Oh no, yeah. No. Their Twitter is crazy. Yeah, I met the CEO for them at my job as well. They're really cool. I actually had like $500 worth of Wendy's gift cards, but I don't eat burgers, so didn't really work out too well. I just gave them to my coworkers.
all right, boys.
But,
Well, I think I gotta.
Yeah, we're getting to that time.
It was really
as
great
well.
having you on. Honestly,
For
like
sure.
we stayed a little bit later. We usually cut this off at an hour and a half, but we had barely talked about your Genesis NFT. We had barely talked about the founders packs and all that stuff and the tokens. So I wanted to get some more questions in, and I think it was worth it. But
Hell
we
yeah.
definitely. We're
100%.
past time. Thanks to everybody for being here and hanging out with us. And again, thanks again, Scott, for coming on. It's been a blast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my pleasure, guys. And hey, if anybody here is listening in and they like what they hear, follow me on Twitter, Scott_Herman. Follow
Yes,
our
sir.
main Twitter account, obviously, Wagmi Game Co. And we do Twitter Spaces every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys ever want to join a Twitter Space and come up and speak, like I'd love to have you.
Awesome. Yeah. Definitely. We need to get you back back here in July. We'll definitely
Yeah,
talk
boy.
soon about that.
We're gonna
'cause,
have a lot to talk about. I'll tell you
oh,
right
yeah.
now.
I can't wait. We might have to might have to make that one a longer episode then. I don't know.
We got to get some gameplay in too. I think
For
it's
sure.
gonna have to.
For sure. We'll definitely get that all. Yeah, exciting times, exactly. Yep. Thank you everybody for being out here and all of the
We
if
gotta
we got
find
any
someone
new
to raid
follows
out to.
today. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for now. Scott, if you gotta go, it's all cool. We usually raid out to another
Sounds
content
good, guys.
creator.
Well, thank you so
Uh,
much for having me, and we'll be
yeah.
in chat. We'll be in contact soon.
For sure.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for coming
Thanks
on,
again.
man. And all the information. Have a great one.
Later, guys.
All right.
All right, bye. I don't know who to raid out to, man.
I'm looking now. Let me see.
We can raid out
let's-
to custom. There's Dolly Daddy.
Captain Dejan's on too.
Oh yeah, we can raid you, Captain DJ.
Yeah, let's do
Is
Captain
he
DJ.
traveling and outdoors? What is he doing?
Yeah. I don't know.
What
but
is
it
he
seems
doing?
Seems like
Oh,
it's gonna
is
be
that-
cool. Is that a carnival or something?
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Let's rate him out.
All right, why not?
Yep. Let's see. Can I do the raid command for? Oh, hold on. I don't know. Let me see. Quick question: how many people hit the space, guys? At one point it was up to like 45 people on global. We're on the who? Which guy? Dolly is about to end stream. Okay, yeah, he's about to end stream. Yeah. So yeah, about 40 people, 45 people, and globally, we're on multiple platforms, so it kind of like pulls from everyone. We get like a total number here, so it did hit 45. I think that might be our highest too, so that was really cool. We've been growing
It was a
substantially.
vibe. Thanks for being
Yeah,
here,
definitely
guys.
a vibe, guys. Could you set up the raid, or hold on? Let me see if I can do it
I
like
did the
this.
raid for. I can't do it for.
WTM.
No.
Okay, watch this. Let me see. Did that work? Did that work, chat? Chat, did the raid work? Did it pop up at the
I
top?
don't see anything popping up.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, you're right. It's not. Okay, one sec. Let me just open it through here. I got Brave up because for some reason Google Chrome was killing my computer. Don't know why, but I don't use it anymore. So I am officially a Brave user from now on. To transfer all my stuff over, which sucks. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
that's
I swear I'm starting up this raid now. Promise. Here we go.
You've done it
Okay.
before.
Yeah, I did. I just didn't have the actual page up just because at first it was kind of, you just see the connection going weird. I feel like that was because I had the other one up. All right, raid has been created. We appreciate all you guys. We love you. Go highlight Captain DJ. He's freaking hilarious. He's amazing. He's energetic. He's a lot of things. Gets sprayed in the face for subs. Like, this dude's crazy. He's at a theme park right now. Huge person in the space. We love this guy. Go show him some love. We'll see you guys next Saturday. We'll post soon who we are going to be having, and we'll be more active in the Twitter too. Make sure you follow our Twitter, WTM_podcast. Is it underscore? No, it's regular. WTM podcast. And yeah, me and Jay Cluster's Twitters, which we'll throw at the bottom really quick before we get out of here. But yeah, there's all the Twitters right there. Make sure you follow for updates, giveaways, things of that sort. Really love you guys, man. Appreciate you. Cluster, you got anything to say before I hit this raid out button?
No, sir. Let's get out of here.
All right. Deuces.